Kelly Rubin used the principles from appreciative inquiry to develop a coaching framework to shift educational practices for an entire school. We integrated these principles with her overall framework to develop a coaching structure known as the Collaborative Coaching Framework. The Collaborative Coaching Framework is designed to support the individual through a coaching process by peers with similar foundational knowledge. In the Collaborative Coaching Framework, we added 3 more parts to support the coaching model: establish relationship, clarify goal, and personal reflection. Establishing a relationship has already been discussed as part of the planning conversation. In the initial conversation, it is an opportunity for the educators to share perspectives on the student and the target goal, activity, or objective. But it is also important to reconnect during the reflection conversation and use the coachee's perspectives on how the observed skill unfolded. Clarifying the goal is primarily used to establish a focus, whether it is the focus for the planning conversation or the focus of the reflection conversation. Use open-ended questions to help the team decide the focus for each coaching session. Use paraphrasing to acknowledge, organize, or summarize the desired outcome. The 4D cycle is used to discover the best of what is. Pose questions to identify strengths, best practices, and what's working. Dream big for success. During this part, ask questions about wishes or dreams for the student. What would success look like, and what types of data could be collected? Design the plan for the identified targets. Identify 1 to 3 targets and create the plan. Decide what to change and do differently going forward. What would be the next steps? And make it happen through destiny. This is where the team implements the desired changes or plan and decide who's responsible for each activity, role, or part of the plan. The personal reflection on the collaborative coaching form is where the coachee reflects on how this innovation could be integrated into their thinking and determine what is a personal learning focus during the observed activity. What specific skill the coach should attend to during the observation phase to support your learning. It could be looking at time allowed for students to respond, or count how many times WH questions are used. In modules 2 through 4, you learned about social communication and engagement strategies to support the triad, the child in a variety of environments with different communication partners. This is the innovation for the course. We also learned that coaching is a vital component to solidifying a new learning or innovation into your professional practice. This form was customized to help connect the practice of coaching to the innovation. While the steps are numbered and should be completed in order, some of the information you discuss may be used to complete more than one step. In step 1, while you're establishing the relationship of the group, complete the top part of the form with the student's name, date, and team members. Facilitator and next coaching session will be completed by the individual before a coaching session. During the conversation, where the team is sharing perspectives on the student, target skills, and behavior, ask questions to help the team decide which area to focus on in the triad, and what is the desired outcome. In Module 2 and at the face-to-face, we saw a video about a little boy, Parker. I will be using him as our student to further explain how to use this form. To clarify the goal in Step 2, ask questions to help the team narrow in on the desired outcome. With Parker, we know he uses words to express himself. He is motivated by certain toys, and he will take turns with his communication partner. As a team, we decided to focus on increasing the number of words he uses in his utterances. The identified strengths can also be used to complete the Discover column. Continue discussing his strengths and filling in the Discover column with what is working for all 3 areas, the child, environment, and communication partner. Move to the Dream column and ask questions about what would success look like for Parker. What data do you have or want to collect to measure his success? This is the step which focuses on determining the method for data collection. In Step 5, the Design step, identify 1 to 3 behaviors or skills and create the plan. Going forward, what are you going to change? In our example, we are going to model longer phrases by adding people's names to the sentences and by describing their actions. Step 6, Destiny, outlines how we're going to make it happen. When are we focusing on the goal? Who is supporting it during each activity? At this point, the form should look the same for everyone on your team, since the skills we have been focusing on are all about the triad. Step 7 is where the individual team member focuses on how to integrate the innovation into their own thinking. In accomplishing the goal for the child, what specifically do you need to pay attention to in order to strengthen your skills regarding the triad? What data do you want the coach to collect for you during your observations? In our example, I want my coach to collect data on how many times I use a person's name and how many times Parker uses a person's name. Currently, he's not using any names. As you progress through the semester, this form will change to reflect your students' progress and to reflect the different personal reflections you identify for yourself. Complete the collaborative coaching form found in the resource folder with your team. Each teammate's form will be the same except for the personal reflections. This section will be individual to your focus for what you want the coach to attend to when you are the coachee. As you become more skilled with the triad, your reflection statement will change to reflect your needs. This activity will be ongoing, and you should update the form each time you cycle through Meta so that you have the most current information about your student. You have now completed the module on coaching. You should be able to identify the principles of coaching, explain how they align with the 3 phases of a coaching conversation, and summarize how the philosophy of appreciative inquiry is interconnected to the 7 steps of the collaborative coaching framework.